This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Good to have you on board. Thanks for watching, as always, on YouTube TV. By the way, now with multi-view capabilities, if you have the sports package, give that a shot today with live sports going on. Listening on Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our affiliates across the country. We will get into tonight's NBA card as we go out to the Progressive guest line. Julian Edlow does a great job with the sports betting racket. Works for DraftKings on Twitter with a lot of his plays as well. Julian, good to talk to you again, my man. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Good to be with you guys.
Back at you. So we've talked about this Celtics game ad nauseum on today's program and how they have not been good going back now several years after they blow out a team like it's a letdown the next spot. And bettors are kind of looking at it that way. Hell, this game has dropped now a full point here at Circus since we've been on the air. They're laying 10.5. What do you make of that? And what is your betting approach for the game tonight?
All right, so the trend is fading the Celtics off a double-digit playoff win. Yep. I took the numbers back to the second round versus the Cavs in 2024, the year they won it all. They're 0-10-1 in their last 11 against the spread. Now, 5 of them were outright losses, if you want to look that way. However, 3 of those were in the Knicks series. Now, the Knicks series, I don't know. That was a weird series, put it that way. So you have that. Now, you can look at the flip side of this game and say the Celtics in Game 5s to close out at home have been tremendous. The last 4 opportunities they've had to close out a series in a Game 5 at home. First round last year, they beat the Magic by 31. NBA Finals, they won it all against the Mavericks in a Game 5, won by 18. Second round against the Cavs, the year they won it all, they won Game 5 at home by 15. First round that same year, they beat the Heat by 34. Last time they had a Sixers in a closeout game in Boston, 2023, second round Game 7, they won that game by 24 points. That was the game that Tatum scored 50. They ultimately go on to go down 0-3 to the Heat in the East Finals and lose in that Game 7. So they've been good in these closeout opportunities at home. They've been bad off the blowouts. I am going to stay away from the number because, again, you can make a very strong case either way. However, I don't think the Celtics drop the ball here. I don't think that they get a Game 6 in Philadelphia. They don't want to play that game. They have a chance here to let the Knicks and Hawks maybe play out to 7 and advance here tonight at home, get some rest. I think they win the game. So the way to play them to win the game when they're this big of a favorite is on the first quarter and full-time line, which is not a parlay. It's a specific market at DraftKings Sportsbook. So to win the first quarter and win the game, which is under game lines, was minus 145 last I looked. Now, first quarter in this series, Celtics have won all 3 first quarters, including the game they eventually lost by double digits at home. Average lead of 9.7 points. They led by 15 in Game 1, 3 in Game 2, 5 in Game 3, and 16 in Game 4. I think Embiid back kind of slows the Sixers out of the gate a little bit. They're trying to get him incorporated. He slows the offense. I, as a Celtics fan, would be much more afraid of Maxey getting hot. And if they're going to work through Embiid early, I just think the first quarter trend continues. So Celtics to win the first quarter, win the game, minus 145 is how I'm going to play it.
All right, good look. So Cats had some big games against Atlanta, but a guy who's cooking in this series has been OG, who had 22 and 10 in the last game against Atlanta. How do you want to play OG props?
Yeah, I'm going to the points and rebounds here. The role is not in question. He's played 37 minutes in every game. His role is arguably more valuable with Bridges' minutes getting cut back. So Game 1, he had 18 and 8. Game 2 was the only time he's gone under his points rebounds prop in the series. He had 14 and 8, 22 there. But look what he's done recently. He had 29 and 9. That's a 38 combined, and 22 and 10, 32 right there, the 2 games in Atlanta. He's averaging over 20 points per game in the series. He's had no fewer than 8 rebounds in any individual game of the series. So looking at that over 23.5, it was this morning, minus 120. I've seen it bounce back and forth with 24.5 with less juice. Either of those, OG points and rebounds over, I am good with in that one.
Okay. And the game that's kind of forgotten tonight would be the closeout spot here for the Spurs against the Blazers. I think this is a fascinating look tonight with Scoot Henderson as well. 0 points in his last game, played 27 minutes. But before that, he was like cooking in all 3 of those games. So are you buying the dip here with Scoot tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to throw out the scoreless game. And, maybe it was a little fluky. He started off shooting cold, probably wouldn't have gotten there anyway, but he picked up the 2 early fouls and then sat. That didn't really help him. I'm going to buy what he was before that, being who he is right now as a player. Again, this is a guy that didn't play until February. He wasn't having this third season breakout that, Brandon Miller, Wembanyama, he wasn't able to do that because he wasn't playing. They ramped him up, lower minutes. He's now become a really valuable part of this team. And you saw what he did in the earlier games. Game 1, 18. Game 2, 31. Game 3, 21. He only played the Spurs once in the regular season. He scored 20 in that game. So the props now down a little bit off the scoreless game. I'm going to take that, throw it right out of the window. Scoot Henderson's about plus 110 to get you 15 points in this one. If you want to ladder it up to 20 plus, I don't mind that either. I'll buy it low off the goose egg.
And then his teammate as well in the backcourt, Drew Holiday, big game out of him as well. The veteran leadership, he's going to be there with Scoot tonight.
Yeah, the big thing for me is just the minutes and the role with Holiday. This is why they got him. You look at Drew Holiday, he played 29.4 minutes per game in the regular season. They were resting him for the playoffs. This series, he's playing 38.3 minutes per game. He's about 9 minutes a game higher in the postseason. I don't think the props have all the way caught up yet. So I had been playing him over his rebounds and assists, which was good every game of the series. It had been 10.5. It was good every game of the series until last game. He landed on 10. He had 7 in the first quarter and landed on 10 with an over 10.5 in that game that completely flipped against Portland. I think over the 11.5 points and assists and rebounds at plus money is good. I played the over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists because I think in a backs against the wall game, he maybe shows up a little bit more as a scorer. But he's averaging 18.5 points, 7.3 assists, 5.3 rebounds. He's over 31 on the combo in this series, and you see the uptick in minutes. So I'm good with any type of combo you want to play on Holiday because he's on the floor so much more.
Okay. I can't believe the point spread tomorrow. Detroit has played one good quarter in the series.
Yeah.
But you have a good look here about what to do with the Pistons, which I can't believe the number that what you've given out here as well.
So if you want to go take the 9.5, I'm fine with that too, because like you said, Paulie, this is one quarter that was, I don't even remember the score. What was it? 30-6 quarter that evens the series and gets the Pistons back in it. Maybe the Pistons show up and can win this game. I don't think they're going to do it with much margin because they haven't been scoring. Here are the Pistons' point totals in this series: 88, 105, 98, 101. You want to go back to the last 7 times these teams have played in the regular season. They had 107, 106, 109. That goes back to November. That's an average of 98 points per game in this series, an average of 102 points per game last 7 meetings. They have not reached 110 points in any of those games. What's the Pistons team total? 110.5. They can't figure it out with this Magic defense. The Magic have size. They're defending well. It's a high-pressure game for the Pistons, who have not stepped up lately. I've just been playing this team total under for Detroit every game, and I'll keep doing that until it slows down. So under 110.5 for Detroit. They haven't shown me they can score.
What was your reaction to the Flag news yesterday, winning Rookie of the Year, as you were pointing out what the numbers were at DraftKings after the straw poll? And as you tweeted, you were low end at DK. You were minus 1,800. Caesars was 2,500 on Knipple after the straw poll. So you could have grabbed Flag 11-1 with 2 weeks left in the season.
Yeah, we were on that Friday. The straw poll came out. DraftKings Sportsbook was minus 1,800, plus 900 was the Knipple Flag prices. We talked about it on here a few weeks ago after Flag had the 50-point game and the 40-something point near triple-double, and the price swung to Flag being a favorite. Okay, how it's not about the 2 games necessarily. It's about how close it was for the voters and if those 2 games would swing a third of the field-ish over to Flag. It turns out that was the case, whether it was people overreacting, voters overreacting to the 2 games, or they were just that close saying, oh, it's almost a coin flip, but I like Knipple. And then those 2 games swung them to Flag. Whichever way it was, it happened. And, I wouldn't have bet it that way necessarily, but that was the whole curveball of the thing that we couldn't handicap. We can't handicap how close those voters were and what those two games could do for Flag in terms of swinging it.
Yep. You can follow Julian on X at Julian Edlow. Last 90 seconds here, too. Who's been the most popular player in terms of Offensive Rookie of the Year at DraftKings since the first round got over with on Thursday night?
Highest ticket count, highest handle, Offensive Rookie of the Year is Fernando Mendoza. I don't get it. You guys are in Vegas. Is he going to start?
No.
I say no.
No.
Yeah. What do you bringing in Kirk Cousins for? Like, first of all, they're the same guy, right? So perfect mentor. This is the guy that Mendoza sits behind and learns. It's Kirk Cousins. So I think this is not the right bet on Mendoza. He's not favored for a reason, but he should be further down the board. This is a guy that sits, if not for the season, for half the season or so, and they have the guy in place to start over him, like a hand-picked guy to start over Fernando Mendoza. So it's a tough board. Love's way too pricey. I don't mind Jadarian Price, fresh legs. He was playing behind Jeremiah Love to come into a really good Seattle team, but people are lining up to bet Mendoza. That would not be my opinion there, the guy that I would give out to win Offensive Rookie of the Year in the NFL.
I would agree. I would look elsewhere, anybody but Fernando Mendoza, basically. His number of starts prop is 7.5. That tells you quite a bit.
Yeah.
Carson Beck, by the way, is 8th in handle, but he moved from 60 to 1 to 15 to 1 since this market has opened.
I would actually like to have a ticket on 60 to 1 on him. That's where you guys opened, huh?
I would bet him before I bet Mendoza because maybe they start him. Who knows?
Totally agree. Great job, Julian. Thank you. Best of luck with your bets tonight.
Yep. Thanks for having me, guys.
Julian Edlow, sports betting content with DraftKings Network.
Can I do the tease?
Of course.
Thank you. You will not believe this horrible news in college basketball. Next, follow the money. Stick with us. So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Derek Stevens, owner, CEO of Circa Las Vegas, coming up in studio in 15 minutes. A lot to get into with him at that time, including this breaking news, Paulie. Do share.
It's all but a done deal. It's expected to be announced next month. They are expanding March Madness, men's and women's, to 76 teams. It would lead to an additional 8 games. The Tuesday and Wednesday games will feature 24 of the 76 men's teams. That number now includes 8 teams who would have qualified for the traditional bracket that will square off against the 8 at-large additions. The traditional 64-team men's bracket will still begin on Thursday and look the same. They will still play 8 games in Dayton, so they'll expand 12 games played by 24 teams at 2 different sites, one of which is expected to be out on the West Coast, and hopefully it's out here. They haven't named that other spot, though, in addition to Dayton.
So we're going to get 12 teams playing 6 different games on Tuesday, and the same thing again on Wednesday.
12 games.
12 games overall.
12 games.
That's what I'm saying overall. Yeah, 12.
I thought you said teams.
I did. 12 teams on
12.
Tuesday, 12 again on
okay,
Wednesday,
so,
right?
Okay.
So it's going to be 6 different games on each day. Okay, here's one thing. This is from the women's too.
Yeah.
Is the bubble that good in the women's when you have teams favored by 55 points and covering?
No kidding.
I think that this is
That's
a little,
yeah.
it's a little much here.
Yeah.
That's completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
So as it is for the men's, but you hate it?
Yes. And it all comes down to why our love, I'd say our appetite for college football has gone down as well, just because of the power conferences.
I would
These
agree.
super conference. This is why they're doing this. You got 16, 18 teams in a league now. And as they point out in the story, it's not so much about money as it is about the expansion has been driven by power conferences, which have grown throughout the course of the deal. So it's also the trash you're going to be seeing that gets in with at-large teams as well, and that Auburn would have been in. Think about that. 500 teams.
All right. So, again, I brought this up last month. I'll bring it up again for the record. My prediction is that when you fast forward to next March and the games are actually here of that week, you're going to enjoy Tuesday and Wednesday. My prediction.
Well, it's more games. See what Derek says coming
Right.
up, but
Right.
I think that's still, if it helps the little guy, I'm on board.
It's not going to.
Well,
we can
I
hold
don't
out
wanna
some
see-
hope here.
I will not change my mind. I'll tell you my answer right now. I don't want to see 6 and 12 conference teams at 15 and 16 records on the season battling it out. Don't reward mediocrity, as Vitale always says.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to see trash.
Well, no,
I'd rather watch those other kids play in that, the Howards of the world, which was entertaining. But I'd give me the Miami of Ohio's against, I don't care, Santa Clara.
Yeah.
28-4 or 31-1, as opposed to here comes Oklahoma, 6-12 in league play, or 5 and whatever it is.
Right. So we're going to get, how many of those teams are actually going to get in next year then? To the whole field, 76 teams, right? You got to say that's the whole field now. I don't care about breaking it down and getting to 64. Now we're way beyond that at this point. So we're probably going to have a handful, my guess is, of teams that are 5-13 in conference play, and probably sitting there at 16-16. Or give
What
or
was
take.
Texas
give or
2
take.
years ago?
They both, Texas
6
and
and 12?
Oklahoma were 5-13, I believe, in conference play. I
No,
believe.
it wasn't that bad. Was
Okay.
it?
Okay.
Okay. I thought it was 6-12.
It might have been 6-12, but I
But
mean,
so, okay, what? Right? Still, you put lipstick on a pig. It's still
Sure.
a pig. Okay,
I was going to look it up, but it doesn't even matter. It's
got it.
it's
You
one
got
or
it.
the
All
other.
right,
And
you got it. Yeah,
yeah,
I want to see what Humans thinks. Get him on line one. Text Humans.
Well, Derek's he's coming up in 10 minutes. He's
Sure.
going to have a strong opinion on this,
Sure.
one way or the other.
Well, I'm sure he'll love it though, because
It's gonna
it's
be-
more people. Now you got to get here Tuesdays.
I might actually say you might have to get here Monday,
Okay, he'll love it. More games.
Yeah.
More things to book.
because here's the thing:
More action.
What?
First to 10.
Yeah, and what if there's actually an intriguing game that they put right away on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Well, then you're going to be thrown for a total loop. Like, do I leave? Do I go somewhere on Monday night, or do I go after that game on Wednesday morning?
I hope it also opens the door for these. Who was it? Yale and who was the other team? That Navy. They didn't lose a game for 3 months. Lost on a buzzer beater.
Well,
Yeah, I mean that opened the door to these guys.
teams like that should be the first two considered, but I'm not going to, again, hold my breath on that.
right.
Like, how does Navy not get in when you go to 76 teams?
No kidding. Don't lose a game for 3 months.
Yeah.
Lose on a half-court heave.
I know you've been
Got that. Good.
holding a bunch of props today.
Good.
I'm here for it.
Are you? Yeah, this is good stuff. So we talked about this before the playoffs started, and there's always some new stuff up, and I like what Caesars is doing. Both teams to score in the first minute. DraftKings is first. Will the team make a 3 in the first minute? Will there be a dunk in the first minute? But this goes back to what happened before the playoffs started. Will a team win a series when they never led in the series? And it's a big price. So, for example, Cavs win tomorrow. Toronto wins at home. Toronto steals Game 7 on the road. That's a winner.
And so, hold on again. I forgot about this because do they do it for every single individual series, or will it just happen as a
They did it-
blanket?
No, they did it for every. They had odds up on every series.
Okay.
Buzzer beater. Will a team go undefeated at home in the series? Will a team win the series without ever leading? And will the team rally to win 2+ games down?
Well, that's
A lot of stuff on the line here. Toronto, Orlando, Denver, Detroit, Houston, all candidates. For
I would
these.
assume they also had it for the NHL.
I didn't look.
Well, I bet they did.
I probably did. I didn't see it though. They had more of double overtimes and 10+ goals and that kind of thing as well. But and they also had, will a team rally down 20 points and win 30 points, 25 points as well. The Rockets were only 7-1 to be down 2+ games and beat the Lakers.
Yeah, you say only because
Well, they didn't have home court, but they were like an $8 favorite.
sure they were huge favorites overall in those games just to win them.
The Lakers were 18-1. Denver 12-1. Hello. And now you got
Down
the
2+
big
games.
injuries. They are favored to win the series, but they're laying 6 on Thursday, and they'll be a double-digit favorite in Game 7. Denver was 12-1.
What did you think of the adjustment from the plus price before the game last night to they were around -130 earlier this morning to win the series? as a 6-point favorite in Game 6, and then you go back home, they'll be 11 again in Game 7. $1.30. I think that's way cheaper than the actual money line parlay.
Yeah.
What it would be.
Yeah. I think we all agree Minnesota's got to win that game or it's over.
Yes.
And then also to be down 2+ games. Detroit was 12-1.
Oh.
Portland 14-1. Not that they're going to come back, but there was 14-1. And then to win the series but never lead. Those are big prices as well.
Well, Denver led the series.
But this is Toronto can do it though.
Yeah, that's one team for sure.
Toronto.
Houston could do it.
And Houston. Yep.
The Sixers, in theory, could do it. I don't.
Yeah, they could come back. Yes, you're right.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, right. But that was a good market as well. Toronto 14-1, Houston 12-1, Philly was 16-1. To go undefeated at home, Minnesota was 5-1. You had it, but you're a big dog now. This Toronto was plus 650.
Wow.
All they got to do is win Game 6.
Yeah, that's it.
Orlando might not even have to do it again. Orlando's 6-1. They could close them out.
That would already.
They could close them out.
Cash it out.
And already cash. Just only getting 2 home games. Good market. Fun to update that stuff now that we're deep into these, and we're going to decide these series soon and this week.
By the way, we also expanded our conversation about the Eastern Conference and the NBA off the air. Don't we think Celtics around even money is the play? I know we said this around the cross-sport parlays prop. Again, I think the Knicks are going to give them, if that's the series, don't know if it's going to be, but if they do play, I think the Knicks can absolutely give them a series.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they can win it or not, and the Celtics would be a great bet, I think, to win this conference because I don't know how many of those other teams I actually trust.
I think that would be the Eastern Conference Final in the second round. There are times where you watch them and say, boy, this Knicks team's dangerous and they're good.
Uh-huh.
And other times it's like, what the hell are they doing?
They play with their food quite a bit.
Towns takes ill-advised shots. You can hunt Brunson on defense. Bridges is on a milk carton.
Mm-hmm.
Can't make a shot. OG's great, but they should be better than what they turned. Remember, Knicks fans thought it was, go back to the offseason. Oh, it'll be Knicks and Cavs in the Eastern Conference Final. Let them worry about it. But they haven't had help from their bench. Grand Theft Alvarado's been a disappointment.
Yeah, terrible.
But I would certainly say Celtics to win the East, even though I would say the Spurs can definitely put a scare into the Thunder based on what they did in the regular season. I think Boston, that revenge angle's huge. Just don't blow 20-point leads to the Knicks. Should have won last year.
The owner and the CEO of this great property, Derek Stevens, joins the program coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Every Tuesday, the owner and the CEO of Circa Las Vegas, Derek Stevens, joins the program in studio. Today is no exception. Good to see you, as always. We have to start with the breaking news that we talked about last segment. It's like official, I guess, where the NCAA has initiated the final steps to expand the men's tournament and the women's tournament to 76 teams. The expansion is on track to be formalized in the upcoming weeks with mid-May as the target. So that means we're going to get expanded games on Tuesday and Wednesday. Overall, your thoughts of this news?
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Now, here's what we got cooking. Where are they going to play these games? Dayton can't handle any more of the Tuesday, Wednesday games.
It's got to be West Coast, too.
It's got to be West Coast.
Hello.
It's got to be a place with an airport that has a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
I think our crew's working on getting this. Well, this ought to be in Las Vegas.
Yes.
It ought to be in Las Vegas.
Are you going to make a push for this?
Yeah, we're kind of working on it.
Oh, you are already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You knew
I don't know where it stands, but the powers that be are definitely working on this one for sure.
Okay.
But this would be great for Las Vegas. I mean, think about all the basketball tournaments we have the 2 weeks leading up to it.
Yes.
And then to kick off the NCAA tournament here, Real big deal. And what a perfect way, leading up Final Four next, the whole thing.
Well, so like Mitch said, you want people to get here Monday then. 6 games Tuesday, 6 games Wednesday, and then the actual madness with the 64 teams bracket starts Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, so let me think about it. So what are we talking about? We're talking about going to 78? Is that
76.
76. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's 12. So how are we doing the math here? So we got 6. We got 6.
6 in Dayton probably. And if they keep it that
Wow.
location.
Or you go 3 early, 3 late.
I was going to say, because do you play?
Yeah.
If you were to have 6 in Las Vegas, you couldn't have 6 games at like T-Mobile. You'd have to probably spread them out and play T-Mobile and then somewhere else.
Right. So wait a second. So we're doing the math live on the air. This is always interesting here.
Unless would they have like 4 locations maybe?
Well, I mean, you've got the eight teams already playing. So we were at 72, right? No, we were at 68. What am I talking
68,
about?
yeah.
So so no, you're gonna have to expand. It's gonna have to be another location. The key thing though is the airport. That's the tough thing. I mean, Dayton obviously is special because this is kind of where it kind of started.
Right.
But it's not an easy place for a lot of teams to get to. You're going to have. I mean, it's not easy for a team on the West Coast to make it into Dayton. So, yeah, Vegas is the right choice.
How confident are you that the NFL's going to 18? Goodell seems strong on this, like it's a done deal.
I think it's inevitable. It has to happen.
Okay.
It's just what the trade-off is.
2 preseason.
Absolutely, give those
18.
away. Nobody wants that.
Double bye. Okay.
Nobody wants that. I love the 18 games, double bye for sure. I saw that one idea floated, which I thought was a terrible idea, of maximum 17 games that a player could play. That would be a disaster.
Oh.
I hate that idea, but I think that's going to get squashed.
Yeah, I hope so. Because Goodell was talking a big game.
But 18 games double bye.
Okay.
That's great. That puts Super Bowl on the last Sunday of February.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, so we're going to get the schedule pretty soon. Do you guys have a target date to announce all the rules and everything that people need to know for the contest?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you share or not right now? Can't?
We got a schedule. We got a schedule. Okay. I would say though, a week from. Well, wait a second. What's today's date? No, not even a week from.
We got the schedule in a couple of weeks.
3 days from now, I think we're coming out with our commercial, our teaser.
Okay.
And then it won't be that much longer before we start taking some wagers. You know what? Guess what? You guys are going to like this. We've had 2 applications come in
For Grandissimo?
Wanted to make the first bet. I thought, isn't that pretty cool? Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
Already?
Oh my
God.
Here's 100,000. Sign me up.
Sign me up. We talked to Big Boss Bill 80 about, hey, if we got somebody signing on opening day for Grandissimo, probably a good story behind him. Maybe get him on your show or something like that in a few weeks.
That'd be great. In light of the news at the Westgate, could you be the only game in town? They still say they're going to continue the contest, but I don't know what the timing. They're taking over in August, and I don't know how many contests are going to continue to run. What would you make of all that with what happened with the Westgate?
They got a lot of good guys over there. They got a lot of good guys over there. So, I mean, I like a lot of guys over there. I don't know what else I can really.
Well, do you think that I don't know? You would speak for Caesars, but do you trust them that they'll continue to do the contest, and will it be the same?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Caesar's game plan is. I'm not sure about that. I mean, obviously, Caesar's a different animal than what Westgate was. I mean, Westgate had its own independent line. I thought, we had some pretty good competition amongst us, and I like a lot of guys over there. So I don't know. That football contest back in the heyday at the Las Vegas Hilton, that was a key element for them. Just kind of like it is now for us. I mean, this is a major thing in our business. I mean, it has a big impact in July and August. People coming to Vegas, the July and August weekends are now pretty fun weekends for me because people are coming in with all these great stories and all talking about football. To me, it starts up the football season earlier, and I love it.
Let me ask you this. You have gotten down some big bets at the Westgate before.
Yeah.
Are you going to miss that? Are you going to be able to make those bets like that elsewhere?
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen again. I think when Cammy had to prove every one of them, and had a pretty good year last year. So I don't know if that's going to happen again.
Have you changed your mind on the draft? How'd you do?
Oh, come on.
Come on.
I heard you guys crushed it. Crushed it. All the reports that
You see what happened? One surprise, Arizona goes Love, or there's a big trade, and everything's blown to pieces.
Everything's blown to pieces. So,
how'd you do?
Ask me. I'm going to do this jurisdictionally.
Okay.
We're a small book. We're only in 6 states. Pick a state, any state you want. Kentucky. Wait a second. Save Kentucky and Missouri for last, okay? I'll start off.
Okay, take it.
I'll start off Nevada. Loser. House loses.
Yeah.
Illinois. Bad loser. Colorado. Loser. Iowa. Loser. We were only in 4 states and out. Here, Kentucky and Missouri, we did well. Do you know why?
Why?
Because it's not legal in those states, so we couldn't take a bet. There was no draft betting in Kentucky or Missouri.
Okay.
So we didn't lose. This is the most ridiculous thing I'm done with this. Jeff Benson and I are gonna go out one of these days, and we're gonna lock ourselves into a room until we're on the same page here, because this is ridiculous. Think about this. Wait a second.
Yeah.
What did we have? What did we have Simpson at? Like under 32.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole world. There's a side deal. There is a side deal. We're going to take him at 13. Yeah. We might try to trade down, but nobody signed up to get the Rams pick. The Rams were trying to trade down to 17 or something or whatever. They didn't get, but there's a side deal. We're going to take it. Well, what? How is this legal?
Yeah, but also, I don't think that news came out until Thursday morning. You guys have to take him down here in Nevada on Wednesday night. Sure
we did. But when was the side deal cut? I would tend to believe Sean McVay wasn't cutting a side deal on Thursday morning.
Well,
I'm sure.
Yeah. How many people know that though?
If there's one that does, it's too many. How many people know who's going to win the Golden Knights game tomorrow? Nobody now. But I bet you somebody knew. Somebody always knows something on this damn draft. It's crazy to me. It's insane.
Yeah. You're going to book the NBA draft in a couple months?
Never. Yeah. I'm done with this draft stuff. It's. I would rather just put $100 in everybody's account. Just do that. We might get more appreciation out of doing it. Okay.
All right. Good tirade. Teach his own. we got an excellent tweet. Guy was at a sports bar this weekend. Day baseball, NBA, NHL playoffs. Lifetime was on.
Oh.
Now, how does that happen? How does that? It was like my teenage girl, pregnant 16 show.
Oh my goodness!
How does that get on in a sports bar? Who puts Lifetime on? And they couldn't figure out how to change the channel.
I know, it's in the middle of March. You can understand somebody watching a Friends on True TV or TBS, but because they didn't know how to change the channel from the night before.
That'll get
TNT. Any of it. I get the Weather Channel. That I can actually that was on. Maybe somebody was like, what's it going to be like this weekend? But Lifetime is like bottom 5 that should ever be on ever. That's acceptable at a sports bar.
I agree.
There has never been a second of programming in the history of Lifetime television that warrants being on at a sports bar.
Yeah. We might light up Twitter right now with all these Lifetime lovers, although they're probably not watching the show.
Probably not.
That's right.
Probably not.
That's right. Good job. Make the phone calls. Get the tournament out here.
All right.
Make some calls.
Yeah, good luck
Great
with
job.
that.
See you guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
We'll recap our bets from last night and tell you what we've added to the portfolio for tonight and beyond with our in-pocket plays coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. Nope. 5-1. Nope. 10-1. You're on.
Recap, winner with the Suns plus the points, and a horrific loss in League One by Stockport County. They lost to Port Vale. They've already been relegated. Stockport trying to get in the playoffs and get promotion. At home. 2-1.
That's pretty bad.
That's an awful loss. Oh, that's bad. Horrible job by Stockport. Nigel later in the week to come on to talk about all the scenarios in the lower leagues with the final games on Saturday. That's the graded. Ton of pending. See how this plays out. Most threes in the Lakers series with Shepherd. Sengun most rebounds. Mitchell most threes in the series in the Cavs Raptors series. Man City to win the Prim. Tottenham to stay up. Bruins plus 1.5 games and the Bruins to win the series. Buffalo was fantastic in Boston. See if they close it out tonight. Saturday, MK Dons League 2. If they beat Fleetwood, they win the league. Nuggets to win the West 16-1. Now, why did that move so much? As an 11-point favorite at home with their season on the line, that's down to like 11 and 12-1 at some spots. Magic to win the East 35-1. That has moved. Another big win over the Pistons. Raptors plus 9.5 tomorrow. Sixers plus 11.5 tonight. Ducks plus 145 tonight. McDavid, a game-time decision. Tampa to win the series against Montreal. Utah to win the series against Vegas. Huge game tomorrow. And a big win for Vegas. They saved their season last night. Denver to win the series against the T-Wolves, minus 145, 2 units. And the Magic, I don't care if Wagner's out. He didn't play the fourth quarter. Banchero was 4 of 18, and they still won the game, and they held Detroit to under 90 points. You're giving me 9.5 tomorrow? And as Edlow said, look what the team total is every night, as Detroit's gone under the team total every game. They have played one good series, one good quarter, the whole series. And now the 6th, 8th seed to lead a 1 seed 3 games to 1. They're the better team, and they know it. And Detroit's in a world of hurt. Plus 9.5 tomorrow as well. I would be shocked they win the game. Horrible job by Detroit.
Really, truly.
The players, the coaching staff, and management for not making a move at the deadline and just sat there with all their picks and kept them in their back pocket and didn't improve when they could have.
Is that it? You're good?
Yeah.
Okay, so the number 1 player in the country just committed to Kansas on ESPN and Inside the NBA, Trent Stokes, and he did it by opening up a gift, and he opened up when he unwrapped it, it was a 2K, NBA 2K game with him on the cover in a Kansas uniform, and there's the hat.
Okay.
I want to see if they're going to move it all, because DK has Kansas at 28-1, and it was down to Kansas and Kentucky was 50-1, and Pope did not land him, and they're going to be bad next year, and he's doing a horrible job.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if that kid is enough to move Kansas down from 28-1 to be one of the powers now next year, if he's that good.
How about Arkansas with the number 1 class?
They're going to be absolutely loaded again.
Yeah, they got the 7-footer.
They're still around 20-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, another guy to land, and so because of that, they overtook Duke as the number 1 class in the entire country.
It is your buddy, though.
Well, that's the thing. You want to put a bet in on Arkansas, and it's not even May yet, and it's
like
John Calipari.
I wish Coach Cal luck, but he wouldn't know what to do with it.
Pending Sinner French Open plus 150 the day that photo came out with Alcaraz in the cast. Pirates will be a loser most wins in April. Braves, it's alive at 18-1, but that Padres comeback victory last night did us no good at all. Basically, so they start a 3-game set today. They either need to sweep Detroit, and they're going to get Skubal and Valdez, or they need to win 2, and the Padres have to lose the next 2 against the Cubs. Kind of up against it now with the Braves. And that's the tiebreaker here. They're going to play more games than the Padres in April, so the Padres will have the tiebreaker over them. Cat's not going to lead the league or this series in points. Bet him at 10-1. He's like 20 behind Brunson at this point. Cada most rebounds in the series, and Bruins to win the series plus 135. Again, since I made that bet, it's Buffalo 9, Boston 1 scoring.
They've only scored the first goal once in the whole series, which is surprising.
And a couple of props for tonight. This is, I'm very surprised that plus 110 was available on Peyton Pritchard over 2.5 threes. So I had to bet that. And Paul George, 15 plus. He has scored that many in 13 of his last 15 overall and in all 4 games of the series against the Celtics. That's minus 125, and I added both those for tonight.
Yeah, like it.
Kansas just moved to 22-1.
Okay, there you go. Don't forget Daniel's rebounds and assists over as well for the Hawks. Sports calendar never stops. Sharp Plays covers it all. The daily tweets from Mr. Poison. Logs posted publicly, sharpplays.com. When they move, the books take notice. Trusted insider intel. They find the value before the numbers shift. Respected, watched, and feared. Pulling in selections and intel from over 500 pro bettors and sources worldwide across all sports, and they push the info to subscribers real time. Start winning with them. They're fantastic. Sharpplays.com.
The keeper for Bayern Munich did not save a single shot today against PSG. He is the first goalkeeper in the last 16 Champions League seasons to concede 5+ goals without recording a single save in a knockout stage match. Holy smokes. That's
incredible.
That's impossible to happen.
No kidding.
That was just fireworks today before the show started and as we were on the air. 5-4.
For the second leg.
Yeah.
Okay. Does Buffalo close it out? They haven't won a series since 2007. You just played your best game and best period all year. Boston got embarrassed. It's hockey. They usually respond.
I would say that's a pretty high price tonight, is it not?
Well, considering how the first 2 games went in Buffalo. So I'd like them more if they were on the road. They were awesome in the 2 games in Boston. But the goalie change has been great. And Lions 2-0 with a 0.89 and a 9.64 save percentage.
Where are you at with playing teams on the puck line? Like plus the 1.5, not laying the 1.5.
Not here. School could be out, and plus you're pulling the goalie in an elimination game.
In an elimination game, it becomes...
We saw the shenanigans in the Carolina game and also the Kings game.
Yeah, different animal. And by the way, if you're betting overtime in all these first-round games, you're up almost 6 units now.
Okay.
Because you got another one last night in that Vegas and Utah match.
See what Edmonton's made of? Last year they were down 2-0 to the Kings. Year before they were down 3-2 to Vancouver. And then they were down 3-0 to Florida in a cup final and won at 7. They're down 3-1. Doesn't look good with McDavid. Anaheim 6-12 on the power play in the series. As Jonathan Davis wrote out, he's right. There's nothing you've watched should say there's how Edmonton is laying this price tonight. Can't be. And the one win was a come-from-behind win in the third period. Can't be. In Dallas, Minnesota, sit back, relax. I think Dallas wins. They've been great on the power play. The kill's been great. They've killed off 14 of the last 15. Zuccarello should be back for the Wild. But this is, both teams have won in overtime. Going to come down to who takes a stupid penalty and the special teams. But the nonsense with the officials, too.
Yeah, I also think that this is a great example of home ice doesn't mean a lot, maybe in a certain series.
Yes.
Sometimes it could. In this one, I think these 2 teams are just, and by the way, the numbers would suggest that they're like super even anyway, but the home ice hasn't meant a thing here between these 2. The winner, I mean, they're so good that they, like when I say they should give Colorado a series, maybe the Avalanche just lay over everybody, but the games, like they could be, like it's a 5-game series can still be a good series because the games might be tight. Like individual games might actually be good.
Oettinger got them last year. Although they had injuries, it was a different team.
Totally, yeah.
Wedgwood down to 15-1, Conn Smythe. A kid can dream.
Where does 10-year-old Paulie go if the Stars win the series? I'm sorry, if the Wild win the series.
Yeah.
What if they beat the Abs?
I'd be shocked.
Well, of course you would, but I mean that'd be a pretty good feeling, would it not be?
Yeah. It's not the same. A part of me died when they moved. It's just strange when your team moves.
Of course.
And you got
to replace them again.
Yeah. Especially after they make a cup run. Go to the Stanley Cup final and years later move.
It's like Browns fans. Hey, we're gonna go to Baltimore, and then
Modell.
Hey, we're gonna win 2 Super Bowls. Hey, Cleveland, but we're gonna give you another team back.
Uh-huh.
That's a good feeling. Big news today.
Yeah.
Here on the show, for those who watch YouTube TV, you watch VSiN on a daily basis, and that's how you take it in. We're now available when you have the sports package to be a part of the multi-view mix that you can have, and that was a total game changer when YouTube brought that out a couple of football seasons ago. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I don't have to go to a sports book now or have like 7 TVs at my house. I can put up the multi-view and have a ton of games. And now, while the games are on, give it a shot tonight with Primetime. VSiN and multi-view with all the games going on. Recommend some bets at the time. You can stay tuned for cashing out Dustin Sweetelson as well. Great job by the entire crew today, and best of luck with your bets tonight.